Guruji, this is for the Guru Purnima coming up on July 3rd.
Okay.
So,
Speak louder.
okay. What is the difference in spirituality for today's age versus hundreds of years ago?
There is no difference in spirituality.
Okay.
Spirituality is actually it's nothing special.
Hmm.
Okay. The spirituality addresses a simple question. With all the turbulence, what are the changes happening in the world? How do I live peacefully? How do I have a mental peace? And how do I relate to the world in a manner which is beautiful? That's all is spirituality. So it is same 10,000 years back. It is going to be 10,000 years from now also. It's going to be same. It is not going to be different, right? Only thing is situation is earlier days it was different. Situations were different. Earlier days there were wars, probably diseases. People used to die very quickly. Okay, in war people used to get killed. So that is the external condition, and probably natural calamities. In today's condition, it is same. The wars are not fought in the, maybe they are fought in the battlefield, but they are fought in the corporate world. They are fought in the homes. They are fought in the marketplace. The changes keep happening. Stock market goes up and down. The competition keeps increasing. There's a cheating, or there's loss, gain. Everything happens externally. Under all these conditions, can I be peaceful? Okay, this is the only question of spirituality. Instead of getting agitated by the world, can I relate to the world in a much more holistic way, in a loving way, compassionate way? That is the question. As long as the nature of the human being doesn't change, as long as the nature of the world doesn't change, the question of the spirituality is going to be same. Only circumstances may change. Okay, earlier days it may be war with the swords. Now it's a war with the guns. That's all. Spirituality is same at any point of time. It's going to be same.
So, today's age, how do we teach? How do we teach spirituality to this age, this generation, where they want everything instantly?
See,
They want
the
instant
spiritual,
enlightenment.
the teaching of spirituality is not. There's no textbook learning of spirituality. Okay, so it all depends on what age you are, what maturity you have, and your understanding level and your experience of life. A spiritual teacher has to relate to all these conditions to teach. There's no one solution that fits everybody. There's nothing. There's no one shoe cannot fit all feet. One teaching cannot fit all the people. It all has to depend on the age of the person, the learning of the person, education level, and what type of experience the person had in life. Now, this teaching, there are so many books, hundreds and thousands of books available. So the person can pick up whichever book suits him, whichever book inspires him. But eventually, he has to find a good teacher who will be able to guide him in a right path, depending on his ability. It is like a medicine, no? If somebody has a stomach, now if you go to a medical shop, a pharmacy, you can get hundreds of types of medicine. You may try it out also, some painkiller, but ultimately eventually you have to find out a right doctor, get a right treatment. Similarly, spiritual teaching also has to be depending on your experience, depending on understanding. This guru or the spiritual teacher has to prescribe you the right combination. Without that, there is no such thing as a spirituality, or rather mass-based education of spirituality. It can give some good principles, general principles, but ultimately to individual to transform, it requires a very specific teaching in a very specific way.
What does today's generation require?
What people of today's generation require, today's generation, one is that the today's generation is fast generation. They are born with the internet, information age. कहते नहीं कहते नहीं गलाट कौन कचरा recording कर सर मैत्री recording कर संगा today's generation is a fast internet generation and they have lot of information exposure, over information. Okay, now the spirituality, if you say, it is not about information, it's about transformation. Now information overload can cause stress, strain. So for transformation to happen, they need to get a good exposure of spirituality in a very systematic way. That can be learning of some Bhagavad Gita, some Upanishad, or teaching of spiritual master. There should be some way of formal education which can happen in the college, but it should not be very heavy. It should be just exposure. So now the exposure should be such a way that when the person really needs it, he can always go and approach the right type of teacher to get into depth. Overall general exposure is required at the initial stage of schooling education. Then also there is a exposure to yoga is required because it gives a good physical health and mental. It gives a good understanding of physical and mental conditions. Some good amount of exposure to Upanishad and Vedanta will help. But then finally, with all these things, the person, when he really starts getting into deeper into himself, he needs a real guide which he has to approach, he has to find. Without that, probably I would say that spiritual teachings will be more often misunderstood or applied wrongly rather than correctly.
So we talked about spirituality at a young age, I mean bringing it to the curriculum of schools.
Mm-hmm.
So what about people in general and in society? How can spirituality be brought about in general?
See, the thing is difficult. Most of the people have a wrong understanding of spiritual life. Very wrong understanding. Because most of their understanding is picked up through some stories or anecdotes. Rather than, there's no systematic scientific way of teaching which has happened. There's a yoga teaches you, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra teaches you the science of mind mastery in a very systematic way. Similarly, Upanishads teach you the science of self-realization in a very systematic way. So when people don't have exposure in this education system, then what it is actually, they tend to pick up wrong ideas, wrong notions. It's like a person who is not educated, okay, and he grows up, he finds it difficult to adjust to the society because he is illiterate. Spiritual literacy or spiritual understanding at a younger age is a must. There's no substitute for that. Now the question is, those who have crossed that age, what is the method? That's an adult education question. Okay, adult education. How do you give adult education? There are some mechanisms thereby which where people can conduct some 1-day retreat, 2-day retreat, and try to get a good grasp of teachings. So learn some meditation, some spiritual practice. Okay, the retreats probably or a systematic study at home with the study group, that can help. What I call as a study of Swadhyaya or scriptures, individually or collectively as a group. Understand it, try to correlate with the master. That's possible. Now other thing is, today's world there is a lot of videos, DVDs of spiritual teachings available from the real masters. So you can at your home you can sit and study. So there is a good amount of education support which is available today, which was not there probably 50 years back. You can use the internet, you can use the DVDs, you can have self-study groups, you can have retreats once in a while, meditation retreats. So these are all support systems for those who miss the formal spiritual education at age, and that they can do during weekends, during their free time. Okay, some people when they are traveling by car, if there is a driver, they can sit at the back of the car and study. And while you are traveling, you can do study. So some facilities are available compared to much more facilities are available compared to earlier days.
So Vijay, let's talk about you as a guru and Sadhguru.
So okay, what I have to talk about?
So, from when did you start teaching? And
Yeah,
go
actually,
through the questions. And
yeah. See, the
what
teaching.
inspired you to teach?
Anyway, I have been a teacher from all my childhood. In my class, I studied in very ill-equipped schools, the schools where there was no teachers. I used to collect my classmates and teach them subjects of science. While I myself was trying to study, I taught my classmates. That happened all the way up to engineering also. Engineering also, many of my classmates call me as a guru, teacher of engineering subjects. So sort of teaching is sort of in my blood, I would say. But then coming to spiritual education, I never had an idea that one day I'll teach some spirituality or something like that. Of course, I learnt yoga. I learnt yoga at a very young age. Did it quite yoga, which is actually based on Patanjali Yoga Sutra, where I good exposure of asana, pranayama, dhyana, dharana, samadhi, kundalini yoga, and also the science of meditation. So this I taught to some people, my classmates, my friends, when I was young. But I didn't have an idea that I will be teaching it as a regular, formally as something. Back in must be about 90, back late 90s. I had one of my friends who was going through a lot of disturbance in life. He came to me more for a counseling purpose. He was going through marital problems. So when I talked to him, he found me very peaceful, very silent, and he asked me the secret of my peace and silence. I said it is my spiritual practices, yoga, meditation, and whatever realization I had in terms of spirituality that has helped me to come to this stage. Then that person asked for a teaching, asked me to come to his house and teach. Actually, he and his wife, his family was going through a lot of difficulties. They had separated out. So because of my words, he felt that he can try out, make up with his wife and stay together. Then he called me. Then when I went there, I had to talk to him about something. Then I thought I'll talk to him about Bhagavad Gita. It so happened that he was very transformed by whatever I spoke about Bhagavad Gita. He and his wife, they started living peacefully, and they invited me again next week. So next week again I went and spoke about Bhagavad Gita. Next week, he invited some neighbors who came there. So I started a sort of a class started growing up. A number of people came for a Bhagavad Gita class. Then the Bhagavad Gita classes went on for so many couple of months or years. Many people became familiar with my way of teaching. Some people wanted more deeper teaching, so then they came one by one. Then I started teaching them at individually about mind mastery, pranayama, breathing practices, yoga, spirituality, what is enlightenment, what is liberation, all those things. That what happened was over a period of time it became very difficult because one person comes and he asks something, another person comes and asks something. So it started becoming like individually to handle it becomes very difficult. Then I thought let me put together one course, where a weekend course where people can come and study. So I started doing two days course, 2 days sort of retreat at my home. And some people came and the effect on them was remarkable. Many of them got a deep transformation. They became very peaceful. Their office relationship, family relationship improved. So there's some effect of what I'm teaching. So then what happened was these people who came, they started telling their friends, and those friends came. And gradually number of people increased, and I have to tell them in some way, and I kept on telling. Many times I conducted my 2 days class became 9 days class spread over 9 months. So I kept sort of started putting some structure for my teaching. Then people to teach them more meaningfully, there was one Upanishad class I started. So to help people to study at home, I made them write Upanishad thing, because people stay in various places, different places, maybe sometime in different countries also. So then they can't come and listen to me. So then internet-based live broadcasting started. So then to talk people in a meaningful way, I took Upanishads and started talking. So this is how I started teaching. I never had an intention to become a guru or sadguru or anything. It's sort of accident. So, like many accidents happen, here also some accident happened. And accidentally I became a guru. And of course I don't have any characteristic of a guru, either a beard or this thing or any no speciality. I'm an ordinary grahastha. So during weekends I find pleasure in teaching people when they come. And people call me some guru, and some people call me sadguru also. So fine, whatever you call, it's okay. Tomorrow you call me guru, sadguru, tomorrow, day after tomorrow you call me a donkey. It doesn't matter. As long as there's some meaningful, I can give some value to you people, value to students who come. They find meaningful. I'm fine. But whatever started trickles. It started as a trickle. It became a stream. Stream became larger. More and more people got influenced by whatever I taught, and then more and more people started participating, and it became sort of a satsang group, an informal satsang group called Atmajyoti Satsang. And as a Sadguru means one who has ability to bring a deep transformation in another person. So such a deep transformation happened in many people. Now Sadguru is a title, or it's not a title. Sadguru is somebody who can really put you on the path of spirituality and get a clarity on all spiritual aspects of life, and show you path of liberation. So many of the advanced sadhakas who came to me, they found that they have seen many masters, they have gone through many courses. They found that my teachings are much more touching them. Then they called me Sadguru. Fine, I became Sadguru also. Right?
Guruji, tell us about your experiences in teaching people.
The experience in teaching people. Yeah.
So over the almost 2 decades.
Almost now more than 10-15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't seek student. I never sought students. Students started seeking me. So most of the time, because I don't have any special characteristic, I am not an ashram. I don't have ashram. I am not a guru in the sense I am not a learned man. Okay, my I talk to people in the language which they can understand, because that's the language I can communicate. And whatever truth I understood from my teachers, my masters, my spiritual struggle which I have gone through, so I started talking to people, and they felt touched by that. But to be true, many people who came, they didn't come for spirituality. They came for counseling purpose. They wanted to hear some good words from me, or some words which help them to come out their problems of life. The problems of life is, typical problem of life is marital issue. Typical problem of life is their children's relationship with children. Some of the problems are related to office work. These are the type of people, and many people had tried out many things and didn't work out. Such people came. So incidentally what happened is that my words and my presence gave them peace and soothing. So they came again and again. So when they started coming again and again, I started giving them teaching of spirituality, whether it's Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. So that helped them. Some of them started their own service activity in terms of teaching this to other people. Right? This is one category of people who came through trouble or difficulties in life, and they came because the solution, no other solution seemed to have worked. And they came because somebody else got transformed by my words, and because of the reference they came. Then second category of people are, some of them are very rare. They have examples are, I mean, they have done intense practice, spiritual practices. They have done studied under various masters. Some of them, example is somebody has become a monk and traveled all over the country to find a right master, learned under spiritual masters. So such person also, some of them also came like that. And the moment I spoke to them, they felt a deep peace, and they found a sort of a master in me. So that's also another category of people, those who are the seekers, genuine seekers. They went and told other people, and some other people started coming. Then some people approached me through email. Okay, and many times it was more of a sort of a social or family issue, or some question about spirituality. The answers which I gave helped them to overcome that, and then they started interacting with me. So by and large, I would say that Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Artho, Jidnasu, Arthati, Gnani cha Bharadashava. There are four categories of people, seekers in the world. Artha means somebody who is in difficulty, which is actually most of the time it's larger portion of people. Jidnasu means somebody who is curious. I have found many people who have come with out of curiosity about spiritual teaching. I found that doesn't go very far. They are actually many of them drop out. The person who has come with difficulty, Artha, I would say, then once the difficulty gets over, or he understands path through his difficulty, then he becomes more committed spiritual seeker. Then there are some people, many people who come for artharthi, means they want some benefit. The benefit can be they think that doing some meditation. One person came and said, "Please teach me meditation." Okay, I will teach you meditation. What meditation you want? I want a meditation to get married. Oh my God, I have not heard of this meditation. Right? So there are people who come for money. I want to do business. I want to be successful in business. I want to get married. I want to learn some meditation from you. So those are also another category of people. And very few people are there who have been genuine seekers, who have really understood spirituality. They have spent years together, 10 to 15 years of sadhana. They found some masters. They have done really spiritual practice. Such people also came. So these are the four categories: Artho, Jidnasu, Arthati, Gnani cha Bharadashava. Out of that, I would like to have as many people as possible who are really seekers, who have really seen the spiritual path. For other people, I have to take them through various stages, how to solve their problems of life, from all the way up to learning spirituality, which is a long way. So I don't have that much time, but that's why what I've done is now almost whatever my talks are there, they're getting recorded. For those people who come in that stage, probably I'll ask them to go through all those recordings to understand what I'm teaching. When they evolve into something, I can talk to them. So,
Only one more question. Okay. What kind of people? What are the different ways of teaching and
teaching and transformation in
in
students.
students?
Yeah, there's no standard way of teaching. Okay, a guru or sadguru, a guru is a mass-based communication. He wants to teach science. He'll teach science for all the ways. There's a textbook and science. Whereas a spiritual master has no such. Unfortunately, there's no such standards available. He has to see the life stage of the person. He has to see what he has undergone. Okay, he has to see the gender, the masculine or feminine, because each of them has a different worldview, different understanding of life. And he has to see the background of the person, what he has studied, what spiritual background he has. And he has to understand the circumstance, context of the person. And based on the context, he has to teach. Now the teaching has to be in the language which he can understand. For example, a doctor will better understand when you talk in terms of medical terms, the spiritual teachings. A scientist will understand better when you put in more of a quantum physics terminology. A student will understand better in terms of games. A kid will understand better in terms of stories. Okay, women will understand more related to children and labor and marriage, about that. A man will understand more about professional, when you relate to professional life. So that way, the teaching has to, the master teaches from where student stands rather than where he stands. Okay, from where student stands, he has to all the way take him to the level where he can teach what he wants to teach. So the teaching will be very very different types of teaching. Okay, it can be stories. It can be stories which the person can relate. It can be some playing games. It can be study of scriptures. It can be bhajans. It can be prayers. It can be satsang. Okay, it can be the master teaches in very very different ways. Okay, sometimes he ignores the student so that ignoring the student will cause some hurt in him, and he sees his own shortcomings. Sometimes the master gives him assignment and work so that he can brings out the best in him. So actually this truth is one, but the ways of teaching are many. Okay, how you teach, what you teach also is going to be same, but how you teach will vary from different person to person. And I have seen sometimes the person attends for many classes and doesn't get the truth, whereas a person who comes with a lot of difficulty and very keen can understand the truth in no time. So the response of the student also will vary depending on their urge, the intensity of their urge. One more.
So Guruji, what is your mission and vision for teaching and reaching out to the
I have no mission.
no mission?
I have no mission. In the sense, no mission in the sense what I have to see in the long term. Nothing like that. Okay. For me, very simple. Every day when I get up, I get one good day. And I don't know whether I have tomorrow another day is there for me or not. Right? There is always a day comes. A mission is you have 100, 10, 50 years to live. Okay, I'll achieve this thing. Some achievement orientation is there. I have no achievement orientation. Okay, I don't have a mission to change the world. Okay, I don't have a mission to change anybody. But what I have is, what I am saying is, when I get up in the morning, I feel today I can spend my time in a very meaningful way. I want to spend in a meaningful way, which I can help people. That's called Loka Kalyana or Jagaditaya. So what I do is how I can, if some student comes, I'll teach the person. So otherwise I'll try to see how I can communicate some spiritual truths to person. It can be through books or email or audio, CD, some way. So that for me the mission is one day as I get in life, I should utilize it properly. That's all the mission.
One day at a time.
One day only. Because tomorrow I don't know whether it comes. Alright. If I live my life very meaningful way, in a full way today, okay, tomorrow will be much more fuller. So that is the mission, to live the life in a full way. And the full way is I have to make myself peaceful and I have to help somebody become peaceful. And that somebody I don't have to go and search. Okay, that's not my vision. If somebody comes seeking, I can give some, and if he feels that the person is benefiting from me, I'll teach. But what has happened is this way, it has benefited more people, many people, because there's no selling, there's no concept, there's no marketing, there's no force, there's no ego that I am going to teach something, I have something which is special. In fact, I don't have anything special in my life. Okay, I am an ordinary person. My teaching is also not special. It's also not original in the sense. It's all rishis of in India or spiritual masters of India have been telling ages. What I found is what I understood. I am trying to communicate from that. It is nothing. I mean, I am not coming with something new teaching. Okay, that's not possible. But whatever I understood, I try to communicate in a meaningful way. The mission is to live every day what is given by God in a very meaningful way, so that Atmano Mokshatam, for me, it should help my liberation, my peace, and Jagaditaya. It should bring peace and happiness to somebody whom I can do, whether it's human being or animal or somebody. That is the vision. The vision, of course, is that vision is there. Vision is to be able to see. What I am seeing is the difficulties which we people go through in life, internally, externally, surroundings, business, life. I am finding that some amount of, even small amount of good spiritual teaching, understood properly, will help them to come out of that. That's what I've seen. Remarkable transformation in people when they understand spirituality. So vision is, of course, to bring the spiritual truths understand and apply in my life, and give it to somebody who can benefit from that. So I see lot of people can get benefit from spiritual tools. So from that perspective, what I am trying to do is whatever I understood, I teach in the class, and I record it in the form of video, audio, and books, so that somebody wants to take a benefit of that, they can take. That's the vision. The mission is to live one day fully. Vision is bring the spiritual truth, apply it in my life, and whatever I understood, give it to people. We'll stop at this point.